Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be painting the Mirebrute Troggoth for the Ork Warclans. And we're going to start things off with a little bit of basing on the model. We're going to use some kind of plastic card that I had laying around, glue that down for some kind of muddy pools, and then using some super glue and mixed grit sand, we're going to cover the rest of the base, and that's going to really kind of lock in the sand and surround the pools. These get painted later with a kind of a muddy black and brown. Next we're going to use some Fyreslayer Flesh, and this is going to go over all of the skin of the Mirebrute. While that's drying, we're going to use some Wyldwood, and there's a few wooden sections on this model. There's a couple of clubs, and then the seat that the rider is riding on. So we're going to touch up all of the wooden areas of those. Next, we're going to use a little bit of Aggaros Dunes, and this is going to touch up a little bit of the sandy areas on the model pieces that were glued to the base. Then we're going to switch over to some Gryph-Charger Grey, and this is going to paint all of these kind of woolly, ragged cloth sections that are on the rider and on the Mirebrute. Then switching over to some Camo, we're going to paint all of these kind of scaly, hard skin sections on the Mirebrute. This is going to give a nice little color difference for the entirety of the brute without being overly heavy on contrasting colors. Now we're going to use a little bit of black Templar. This is going to be used to paint these little pools, kind of give them that dark, murky look. Then we're going to use a little bit of Blood Angel's Red to paint the belt. Once that's done, switching to some Ork Flesh, we're going to paint all of the skin areas of the rider. Now, as I've said before, it's a little difficult to deal with spillover on some of the more intricate sections of the model, so a little bit of caution saves you a lot of time later. Then, using some Gore-Grunta Fur, we're going to paint the hair on the back of the Mirebrute, as well as some of the cloth sections on the rider. Then, using some Nazdreg Yellow, we're going to paint the Mirebrute's teeth. Then switching to some Corlin green shade, we're going to paint all of the skin tones of the Mirebrute. This will give a nice little kind of greenish grungy look to the model, as well as toning down some of the pinkness that comes with the flesh shade. A couple of quick touch-ups for the Wyldwood. And while that's drying, we can switch to some Snakebite Leather and get all of the little leather wrappings on the gauntlets of the model, as well as all of the leather strapping. Once that's done, we're going to do just a couple of quick touch-ups with the Ork Flesh before switching to some Null Oil Gloss and painting it over the pools to kind of give it that little glossy, murky water look. Then we're going to switch to some regular Null Oil. I was going to paint all of the sand in this as well, but it didn't quite have the look that I wanted, so I switched to some Aggaros Earth Shade, and that gave it the really kind of muddy, watery dirt look that I was going for. Then we're going to use some Basilicanum Grey. There's a lot of little kind of detail metal bits on this model, so we're going to touch up all of those using the Basilicanum. Once that's done, we're going to use some Snakebite Leather, and that's going to be used to kind of touch up a little of the detail areas. Using some Skeleton Horde, we're going to paint all of these little bone sections. Using a little bit of unbleached titanium, we're going to just kind of give a little bit of a not quite dry brushing, not quite layer effect to all of these little fur sections. And then touch them up with a little bit of Aggaros Earthshade. Using a bit of Null Oil, we're going to bring out some of the details on the red belt. Using some Athonian Camo Shade, we're going to touch up all of the Ork Flesh sections. And finally, finish off the base by doing a quick coating of Mars Black, and this is going to go around the rim of the base. Alright, and here we are with the finished piece. This was a very interesting model. I haven't had a chance to paint something with this kind of a scaling effect on camera before, and I really enjoyed how it came out. So, please hit that like button, subscribe for future content, comment in the comments section, let me know how I'm doing, and we will see you all next episode.